All right, let's do it. Another 5-minute post-game show, courtesy of Post-Game Pints, Campbell and Gallo with you after the Canadiens. Another magical moment. Oh, I can't believe they did it again. Josh Anderson in overtime, winning Game 4 on Bell Center Ice to force a Game 5 in Tampa Bay. Mitch, how did they do it? How did the Canadiens beat Tampa Bay to get their first win in the Stanley Cup Final and to force a Game 5?
Well, I mean, they needed a lot, Sean, to go right. And finally, things went right for the Canadiens. I think scoring first was obviously crucial for the Canadiens, playing with the lead on a couple of occasions, killing off a few penalties, including 3 minutes of power play time for Tampa Bay in overtime, and then getting some really good performances from important players on their team. But I think the most important thing and the biggest reason why they won was things went their way tonight, where earlier in the series, maybe some of the bounces didn't go their way.
I could not believe Shea Weber. Look, penalties happened. He was in the box, but it was Shea Weber because I think he's been outstanding in this final for the Canadiens. And the Canadiens said it, that they killed that 4 minute because it was their captain. And I know they would have killed it for anybody, but I think it probably meant a little bit more that one of their best penalty killers were in the box, and their leader, the guy they want to win the cup for, is sitting there in the penalty box. And Mitch, I counted it. It was 23 real minutes for his 4 minute minor because of the overtime intermission. And he had a lot of time to think about it. And the number one power play got stymied by the number one PK. That PK, they stepped up big time.
And you know what? The only thing I'll add to that is that power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we're talking about incredible players. Think about the talent that the Tampa Bay Lightning throw out there with Hedman, Stamkos, Kucherov, Point, and Cirelli. They never even looked threatening. I know Price had to make a couple saves, but I never really felt like they forced the issue. It was almost like having all that time turned out to be too much time because they didn't feel the need to really strain themselves at any point. And also, I will say with the Canadiens, how well they've played on the penalty kill, especially the last couple games, and I would help them win the game tonight. I think as this series progresses, that Killorn injury seems to loom a little bit larger in a moment like in overtime tonight.
Oh, yeah. Another major injury that the Canadiens are, taking advantage of. Well, I don't know.
From whatever you want to say.
But they're not, because they're down 3-1 in the series. So let's be honest about that. All right, before we move in and look at Game 5, just the new additions. Romanov scores.
Yes, Romanov scores through traffic and played pretty well, I thought. I didn't so much care for Kulak's game as much, to be very honest. And I thought the other player who came in was Evans. And Evans, I thought, was fairly solid as well. I think, though, with all the changes, Sean, the biggest adjustment was the scoring line for the Canadiens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Toffoli gets taken off the line with Caulfield and Suzuki and put with Gallagher and Danault, and Anderson is put with those guys, and Anderson ends up having a heck of a game. I don't think it's any coincidence that he moves up in the lineup and plays with offensive players, and had a game where he scores 2 goals, including the opening goal, which was so vital, and the goal in overtime to win.
What a play!
I thought that adjustment was the biggest difference maker tonight.
What a play by Nick Suzuki on that opening goal. That's that feed to Anderson in front, and then Anderson with the individual effort. He just had that extra. If he can carry that to Game 5, that'll go a long way. Okay, let's focus in on Game 5 for the Canadiens. Mitch, I'll lay it out. The Canadiens just needed to win at home for Game 4. Game 5, I think Tampa is going to be the best version of Tampa. They don't want to go anywhere else. They want to win it on home ice. They want to do it all. The Canadiens are going to have a greasy win, an ugly win. I don't think this is going to be pretty. I think they grind and work the last possible game, everything out on the line. I get it, bringing it back about a Game 6 that you don't want to talk about. But the thing is, I don't know if this is going to be a clean win for the Canadiens. If they can do it in Game 5, this is going to be the toughest match of the series.
I mean, yeah, you're right. There's no question about it. And Tampa Bay is a championship caliber team. They know how to close teams out. They know how to get the job done, and they weren't able to do it in Game 4. I think the Canadiens, though, will be ready for it. They know what Tampa Bay has and what they're going to bring and how good they are and what kind of effort they're going to put in. But hockey's a funny game sometimes, Sean, and Tampa Bay could play their best game and Price could make 40 saves and the Canadiens could get a couple bounces and then win the game. So that's why the games are played on the ice. We'll see what happens in Game 5.
Oh, well, that's it. That means we got another 5-minute post-game show to do because the Canadians won in overfun. Josh Anderson was the hero. It's time to go home and crack open a LeBras beer. I hope you do too. For Gal Campbell, see you on the next post-game pints.